Hello, 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 and welcome to Tuesday Talks. This is episode 140, and today we're going to be talking about the necessity of self care. Hi, Angie. How are you? So good to have you here. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome to everyone. Come on in, grab yourself something to drink, and get comfortable. And so we could just have a very good discussion today. Excuse my squeaking chair. I'm way overdue for a new chair. I just haven't decided on one that I want yet, but I'm way overdue. Interesting. I wonder if maybe A5 wide, maybe, or maybe you could trim them down just a little bit if it's not going to interfere with the inserts. Or it could be that there's other things kind of pushing it out. I don't know. That's awesome. I need to get on somebody's treadmill. And quickly I need to do that. So that's great. Very good. But yeah, try to make sure that your rings are situated in there properly, and that's not the reason it's kind of pushing out. Yes, I think it's very important for all of us. All right. So last episode rather, it was real. It felt so good to be back on and chatting with everyone. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew I missed Tuesday talks, but it really made me realize how much I had missed Tuesday talks and how it was a vital part of my week all the time. You know, so yeah, it felt good. It felt really, really good to be back. And I'm hoping that I could go back to weekly, but right now with everything that I've got going on, twice a month I think is going to be the better fit for me right now. So, yeah, so I'm going to just try to work on twice a week for now. Um Also, the last time I did talk about possibly starting the book club up again, and I'd recommend it to you guys in the group chat we have on Instagram about The Number One Lawyer by James Patterson. That is a new book that's going to be available in March. Now, while I was very heavily sleepy last night, I was about to go ahead and pre order it on Instagram. I literally fell asleep doing that. But if you want to join in and start reading this book, it will be available, like I said, it'll be available March, I want to say March the 18th it says, but on Amazon right now they have a pre-order and it's heavily discounted. So I have to put my pre-order in today since I fell asleep doing it last night. Um, but I would say do it now while it's at a discount. And then we could talk about when we want to start it, because if it's the 18th, like I think, let's see, let's go to March. So I'm doing the second. So I will be meeting with you guys the 12th and the 26th of March. So maybe by the time I meet on the 26th, we could have, if everyone has the book by then, or we could just start it in April. We'll see. We'll discuss it on the 12th and see how that's going to work. But yeah, that is heavily discounted right now on Amazon. So pre order it right now. Awesome. Awesome. It's a, James Patterson loves to start books with different characters that he carries through for several different series and things like that. So what I'm hoping is that this will be one of those types of characters. Um, but I've always enjoyed his stuff. If I want to say, if you go on the link, Angie, that I put in our group chat, I think it gives you the option to read a few of the chapters, if I'm not mistaken. I think it will let you do that. So, yeah, it says America's top lawyer is on trial for murdering his beautiful wife. Biloxi's best criminal defense attorney has never lost a case. Then his wife is murdered and he becomes the number one suspect. So that seems pretty interesting. Hey there, Lisa. Good evening. Thanks for joining. And if you guys don't know who Lisa is very well known in the planner community. She's got a very good Instagram following, and she is incredible. She does put in a lot of hard work to do these collab loops for YouTube, and I am a part of one of her loops, and I want to thank her again for that opportunity. Oh, Lisa, it's a group chat I have with some of my planner friends, and we just kind of talk about some of everything, life, everything. But I posted in there a link about the book, The Number One Lawyer from James Patterson, and we're going to see about possibly starting up reading together again and having a discussion about that. But I could definitely share that information with you if you're interested. Definitely. But yeah, so if you, like I said, it's like about $10 off right now on Instagram. So I definitely have to make sure that I get my pre-order in today. And that's off the hardcover. So the hardcover is the one that's at a very good discounted rate. I personally prefer sometimes a physical book, although I've read ebooks. But if I'm going to be doing like discussions and stuff about the book, I'd rather have it in a physical copy. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I'd rather have it in a physical copy. That way I can make notes and things like that. And so, yeah. But I promised last time that I would come with the snack of the week. Y'all know how I am about my snacks and my pastries and my ice cream. So the snack of the week for this week is the Little Debbie Easter basket cakes. You can't do the holidays without a Little Debbie cake, right? They're so nostalgic. We grew up on them. I laughed when I pulled these out of the box because they are so much smaller than what they used to be. So I don't know if you know that Little Debbie has some big cakes now. The big cakes are the size that they used to be years ago. So yeah, make sure you get you some Easter basket cakes from Little Debbie. Can't go wrong with Little Debbie cakes. I don't know if you know this too, but she has ice cream. Little Debbie has ice creams. I tried the honey bun. Oh God, what was the other one I tried? I know I tried two. I can't think of what the other one was, but both of them are really, really good. The oatmeal, was it oatmeal pie? Cream pie? I don't know, but I've tried 2 of them before, and they're really, really good. Really, really good cakes. Yep, 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 yep. So give those a try. Mhm. Um, yeah, Lisa, I have this thing about snacks. I have this thing about snacks. So yeah, I okay. Alrighty. So the topic for this week is self-care. And I know it's something that kind of gets drilled into our heads a lot, but we know that it's important, but I don't think we always adhere to making sure it is a priority. Yes, you must have your snacks, your little go-to things, right? You must have those things. All right. Definitely. You must have those things. But yeah, so I was sitting and I was thinking about everything that's like been going on with me and things like that. So I was like, yeah, I need to work more on self-care and doing a better job of that because it's one of those things that I will write in my planner, you know? I don't always adhere to it. Um, and that's not good because it's something that, in order for it to be effective, we have to be consistent with it. So, yes, it is a necessity. Self care is a necessity. And I think once we really realize how important it is to so many different aspects of lives, then maybe that will help us be more consistent with it. Consistency is key. Definitely. So, give me a second here. Okay. Alrighty. Now, so what is self care to you? So, for me, I believe that self care is all about love and balance. Love and balance. I feel that first, it is about knowing who you are as a person. First of all, knowing that I'm a child of God. You know, I am valued. I am important. You know, that's what self care is to me, love and balance, and knowing who I am first as a person. So you have to know that you matter. Because here's the thing, you may not matter to anybody else. You've got to matter to yourself. You have to matter to yourself. I love this, Lisa. I make a priority to have self care Sundays now. I love that. So you need to know that you matter. And I know as you have more people in your life, it's kind of harder to focus on yourself sometimes. Like I know that it's harder sometimes for spouses to focus on themselves when they're considering their other spouse, and for parents to focus on themselves when they're considering their children and things like that. But how beneficial can we be to a spouse, significant other, or children if we are not taking care of ourselves, right? So I like that washing hair, pedicure, face mask. Yes, yes, very good, very good, very, very good. So another thing that we must be aware of is that we must have self love and self confidence. And I know that that is something that some people struggle with, and I think all of us at some point have maybe struggled with a low self esteem. One thing I'm very, very, very grateful for is that my mother always taught me to have a lot of self love. She taught me that as a young girl, and to have self confidence. Do I lose self confidence sometimes? Yes. One thing is because I have very high expectations for myself. But self love, it's very important because when you start to love yourself, you will start to take care of yourself. If you don't feel love for yourself, no one else is going to feel love for you, or no one else is going to be caring about you. And you don't want that, right? Um, and like I said, we all struggle with self esteem at sometimes because we're humans and we tend to compare. Unfortunately, we might compare ourselves to each other or other people. Um, I always feel like I have teacher voice, but thanks. Oh, goodness. But yeah, truly, and even someone doesn't have kids, self care is still important. Yes, yes. So, because you just want to be a better person for you, if nothing else, like I said, knowing that you're a child of God, that alone should say, like, hey, God gave me this greatness. God gave me this whole body, this temple, and let me take care of me. And I think putting Him first kind of helps too with all those different aspects of self care. It's hard to love myself. I mean, I do, but I mean, when I feel down or whatever, I feel like, what is the point? Yes. And like I said, we all struggle with it. And thank you for your honesty on that. I feel like we all struggle with it at some point. I remember at one point I was very hurt by, the actions of someone else. And then sometimes you start to question your own self worth. And then like I said, I had to remember, like, hello, let me remind you of who you are, girl. You are a child of God. You are all that in a bag of chips. You have to speak that to yourself, right? You are above this. Get out of this funk. Don't let anybody bring you down. Know who you are. Know who you are. So that's very, very, very important. We want to consider what are the expectations that we have for ourselves. I'm a person that has high expectations, period. I have just high expectations of everything and everybody, and it has been a struggle for me throughout my entire life. Because when you have very high expectations, you're almost setting yourself up for a lot of disappointment because everything and everyone's not going to meet those expectations. And and I think part of why I have high expectations of things and people is because I know what kind of person I am. And unfortunately, I have to keep reminding myself that everyone's not going to do what I do. No, everyone's not going to act like I act. Everyone's not going to be considerate like I'm considerate. Everybody's not going to love like I love. No one's going to, be sympathetic like I'm sympathetic. I have to remind myself of these things. But I've had very, very high expectations, even of myself. So, what I need to realize is it's okay for us to set expectations for ourselves, but they have to be realistic expectations. If we put too much pressure on ourselves, then we start to lose self confidence. We start to feel like our self worth is going down. So, we have to really be realistic about those expectations that we do set for ourselves. I agree, Tamika. I need to get that back. My relationship and feeling close to myself. Yes, yes, definitely. I'm lucky. I'm lucky I don't get down on myself, but life beats me down every day, and I'm always trying to get through something. But I keep swimming. Victoria says, "I can't, I don't even know how to swim, but I've been afloat. Let me tell you, I have been able to stay afloat with all that life has thrown at me, and I am thankful to God for that. Um, but sometimes I do feel like it's always something, and it's sometimes it becomes a lot to just deal with things and deal with life. Sometimes it becomes a whole lot, you know. Lisa says, I just became very interested in learning about the Bible and verses. Awesome. Awesome. If y'all want to do a Bible study, let me know. Me and my brother have been talking about doing a Bible study. We just need to do it. I need to remind myself of those things that not everyone's gonna. Yes, yes, I'm easily annoyed, like you, Angie, easily irritated. My moral compass is so strong. Not that I'm perfect or anything by any means. I know I'm not perfect, but I try my best to do the right thing and my moral compass can just get so irritated from people that just blatantly have no regard for others and just want to do the wrong things all the time. It eats me up. It eats me up. But I think if we set some realistic expectations for ourselves, that will help us to set realistic expectations of others and kind of help us lessen the annoyance, the irritation, the disappointment, things like that. But we have to be real. And I am a realist. So it's a struggle because my expectations are high, but I'm a realist at the same time. And I remember a few years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have to lower my expectations of people. And that's hard for me because I feel like when you lower your expectations of people, they will lower their expectations of themselves. And it gives them an out sometimes to do the bare minimum or to do wrong or to do dirt. So that was hard for me. But I said, you know what? Maybe I just need to lower my expectations and allow people to just pleasantly surprise me. That's the kind of attitude that I started to take on a while back. I'm like, just let them pleasantly surprise me. Let me just expect the worst. And if I get something better than that, kudos, right? Kudos. So, and and that kind of attitude can be looked at as pessimistic, but in my mind, it's just being very realistic. So, but yeah. But one way that we can work on our expectations is just setting self care goals. Um, so one way we can start looking at those self care goals is to look at maybe the word of the year. Some people do a word of the month or a word of the quarter, right? Let me see. Let me share what I am currently. I did a word of the year page in my planner, and let me share that with you guys. Mm-hmm. to see if it'll let me share my photos. Trying to do. There we go. So this was my word of the year page that I created in my planner. I use the Wrong Midnights uh, mental health sticker book, and my word of the year is tranquility, because I was finding that I was just never at peace, and that I was going to have to start finding my peace in every situation. And so I put some of the quotes on there. You could see, do what makes you happy, focus on the good, brighter days ahead. And then I found a quote that resonated with me by Cicero. It says, a happy life consists in tranquility of mind. So it's a state of mind. That's what tranquility is. It is a state of mind. And then I put this Bible verse on there too, from John 14:27. But yeah, I want to be able to find tranquility at all times, regardless of what's going on. You know what I mean? Um, because if we don't, the everything could just eat us up. So I have really, in the last couple of years, I've been going through a lot, and I was explaining that on the last live that I did. I talked about how, I hadn't really done Tuesday Talk since my dad had got sick, and then he passed in November 2021. Then in September 2022, we lost one of my dad's siblings, my aunt. We only have one of my dad's siblings left. Then in October 2022, I lost a cousin, first cousin. Then, also within that time, my mom had lost a neighbor, a dear neighbor. My older brother had lost a Marine buddy. My younger brother had lost a good friend of his. And it was just all this death surrounding us, and it was a lot. And then December of 2022, lost another cousin very tragically. So it was a lot that was going on. And then I started having issues at work. So all of that was just like weighing on me, and all of that starts to affect your mental health, your emotional health. So when we talk about taking care of the whole person, because if we're going to be doing self-care, we have to take care of the whole person. And by that, we have to consider the mind, the body, the spirit. So we're talking about mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, financial health, and even more, things such as environmental health, social health. So, as far as work and things like that, we need to make sure that are in environments that are conducive to our well-being. Sometimes we stay in situations or in places or in workplaces that are detrimental to us. And we have to do what's best for us. We have to do what's best for us. Thank you. Yes, it was a lot, Angie. It was a lot. It was a lot. Even just last week, I lost another cousin. Another one of my cousins passed away last week. And I'm like, oh, and it's just like people we know are just passing away. There's been a lot of death. Since my dad died, it just seems like there's been a lot of death. And then something my best friend said last week, he goes, it just kind of puts the focus on it. He goes, it's not that people are really starting to die. He goes, it's just you notice it more now because you lost your father. And I said, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. But we have to focus on the entire being. If not, you don't want to put too much focus over here on your mental health, but you're not focusing on your physical health, because all of these things affect each other, you know? They all affect each other. So I started thinking, what can I start doing right now to improve my self care? What can I do? So, one of the major things that I've done is quit my job. That job was affecting my mental health, my emotional health, my physical health. I have been in some toxic workplaces, right? I mean, I taught high school for 12 years. And I've been in some toxic workplaces, but this was a lot, to the point where I had to start speaking with a counselor. The counselor told me to quit the job. If the counselor is telling you to quit the job, you might want to just quit the job. So I quit. I it started affecting my blood pressure. I spoke about this on the last live. I had never had blood pressure problems in my life. And it was a running joke with my mom and my younger brother, because my mom has a little blood pressure machine, and we would just go over, when we would be over there, we would check our blood pressure and stuff. And so my mom and my younger brother would joke and say that my blood pressure was always fine because I vent and I speak up and I say what I need to say. This last job, I was holding in so much stuff, right? And it just affected me negatively. I'm like, this is what happens when I don't speak my mind. This is what happens when I don't speak up. Now I have high blood pressure, something I've never ever had, something that we always joked about, you know? And so that was in April of last year, and they put me on medication. I went back to the doctor October, because things got really bad at work in September. So I think it was October. I went back, and it was just like for some months it's just started getting higher and higher. I had gone to the dentist and they were like, whoa, they didn't even want to give me a filling in my teeth because my blood pressure was up there. When you go to the doctor's office and they're checking it 2-3 times and asking you to sit there and take deep breaths and calm down and things like that, that's a lot. So then they doubled the dosage on my medication. I have very low tolerance for medication, and anybody that knows me knows that. I don't like taking meds for anything. And so they doubled the dosage. They told me to start taking it in the morning instead at night. Um, and I really didn't want to take it in the mornings because it can make me drowsy and I need to be able to function. But I did what the doctor said. I had to go get a little blood pressure machine of my own. They wanted me to start checking it and logging my blood pressure every day. So it had got to be quite a bit, quite a bit. I started going to therapy once a week, sometimes every other week. It helps to talk about what is going on and come up with a plan. Yes, so I use the employee assistance program that I had at my job, and they give you 10 free sessions. Let me tell you, I was hoping to leave and not come back to the job after the Christmas break, but I had some unfinished business at work, and that's the kind of person I am. I didn't want to leave unfinished business. I had to deal with some travel paperwork and stuff like that. So I was like, when I get this taken care of, I'm out of here. So I went back after Christmas break, and my last session that I had with a counselor was that week I went back. Literally, it was the day that I went back, because we went back on a Thursday. And that was the day that we went back. That was the last session I had with her. And she was, just trying to basically give me ways to cope at work without going off. So, yeah, I've been in some horrible workplaces. I've been ER. Oh, wow. Yes. Yes. This has happened to me, especially when I was teaching. I lost my hair, myself and one of my coworkers. Both of us started losing our hair from the stress. Yeah. So no, I stopped teaching 2 years ago. So the no 3 years ago. The past 2 school years, I have been working at a community college, and then the school year before that, I was an instructional coach. But yeah, the community college job was very shocking. The work, the toxicity there was very, 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 very shocking. I left the last toxic job June of last year, so I've been giving myself a much needed break. I have need for yes, yes. So I left. I tried to stick it out, find another job first. I haven't found one yet. But I'm just trusting in God right now. And my mom and I were talking about it, and I was like, maybe God just wants me to rest right now. You know, says I look more at peace now. I don't have to wake up and have anxiety about going into a workplace and wondering if people are gonna lie on me today and defame me today, slander me today. I mean, it got really, really bad. And when you have gone through all the proper steps to try and get something remedied, and the people that are supposed to remedy the situation do not, that lets me know what I'm dealing with. And I was like, okay, it's time. It's time to go. So it's one of the first things I have done to improve my self care, because that was affecting my mental, my emotional, and my physical health. And I know me. If I had to say what I had to say, it was going to get ugly. But I was going to be the one to be looked at as the problem, not the problem and the cancer that they've had there for years. That so it was time to go. Um, I try to have quiet time to myself and just kind of rest my mind. My brother makes fun of me because I do logic puzzles. He calls them my old lady puzzles. But I told him, I said, those old lady number puzzles are keeping keeping me from going off on people and things like that. So it's a calming thing. Doing things that you enjoy really, really helps. Believe me. Um, I'm just trying to make myself less accessible. I have had an issue of when everyone wants me or needs me, yay, I'm there. I've got to learn to say no. I've got to learn to not be as accessible, because when I need everybody to be accessible to me, it's not always the same, not always reciprocal. And I realize that I make myself too readily available to others sometimes, and I need to check myself when it comes to that. Um, I'm also trying to do better with my skincare. I'm getting older. I need to make sure that, that's another thing that I'll put in my planner and then I don't always do. I'm not always consistent with it. But I need to be, because I don't want to be having breakouts and blemishes and dark spots and stuff like that. I'm already have like dark circles because of my glasses, and that's bad enough. But yeah, so I need to start working more on my skincare. I have a bunch of skincare products that I just need to be using. Um, and little plug, if you're interested in Mary Kay, let me know. I'll give you the link to my webpage. I'm only selling it through my webpage, but yeah. But I'm also trying to work on getting back into a fitness routine so that I can lose some weight. My mother thinks I'm obese. Well, that's how she acts anyway, which I'm not obese, but whatever. But I just want to get some weight down. I think not having the stress is going to help. Um, I haven't been running out to get breakfast every day like I did when I was on my way to work every day. So that is helping. I'm eating more at home, which is very beneficial. Um, So that's a good thing. I mean, and I was still eating a lot at home for lunch because I live very close to where I was working, and I would come home for lunch anyways. If I had something here, I would eat it. If not, I'd grab something and come home and eat it. But yeah, and then I want to, get back into my Bible study. I started in January. I fell off, but I want to get back into it for March. I have a reading plan that I was following, and I want to get back into that for sure because I feel that staying in the Word is going to really affect my mental and emotional health in a positive way. And that will only bring more positivity in other areas of self care for me, like physical and spiritual and financial and things like that. So, yeah. So, those are some of the things that I am currently doing right now to try and stay consistent. So, like Lisa said, I also have like certain days of the week that I try to focus on self care. So, like I do like a face mask Monday, and I do workout Wednesday. I'm going to start doing that for March. Definitely going to work out on Wednesday. If I can incorporate additional days, then that's great. I've put together a little playlist of workouts on YouTube so that I can just work out right in my bedroom. And it's nothing that's too hard or rigorous because, I have to be careful. I have back issues and tendonitis in my arms. So just being careful of those things and not causing any extra stress or pain in those areas. So, yeah, so face mask Monday, workout Wednesday, self care Sabbath. Um, And one of the things I like to do for self care Sabbath is if I can just go walking. Um, that's, if nothing else, the weather's nice, go for a walk. We've had a lot of allergens in the air lately. I know if I were to go for a walk anytime soon, it's going to really bother me. I went just to open a door and get a pizza delivery and started having issues after I closed the door because of everything that's in the air here right now. But self care Sabbath. I like to do walks, and want to start doing microdermabrasions on Saturdays like that, just to keep my skin clear as much as possible. But yeah, so try to come up with some days of the week to do certain things. Make it fun, give them fun names, use alliteration that helps make it fun and interesting. Like I know some people also do like massage Mondays or meatless Mondays, things like that, um, just to make it fun for you. Do you just do your own Bible study? Right now, yes. Like I said, my brother and I have talked about starting a Bible study and inviting those who would like to participate. I'm going to talk to him about it again because we keep talking about it, but we're not doing anything about it. And so, when we get that started, I will let you know. Yeah. I bought a faith planner at Walmart the other day for $5. Oh, that's a good deal. I like the planner itself, but I love the monthly dividers, so I want to use those and pay some attention. Was it like a coil planner, a book bound planner? Is it going to be easy for you to remove the dividers? I've never been able to get into faith planning per se. I will sometimes take notes when I study, but I know me, I'm not going to stick to just a faith planner. I'm not going to do it. It's like journaling, which is very difficult for me. But yeah, a coil. Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes the papers are very thin in those things. But yeah, so what other kinds of things are you guys doing for self care? Or do you have, like I said, Lisa mentioned self care Sundays? Do you guys have any other special self care days that you have set aside for you? I think, like I said, it really helps to have at least one day a week um, where you're focusing on those kind of things. So you could do something like soaking Saturday, where you just have a nice soak in the bath, things like that. Just make it fun, make it exciting. I've seen people do self care bingos, and then they have an idea of what they're going to reward themselves with if they get a bingo on the self care bingo. I'm sure you could find one easily online. You can create one yourself, just get a bingo template. You can even create it on Canva or Word. Make you a table like a bingo chart and type in each box random things that you want to do for self care, and then see if you can get a bingo and reward yourself. So I've seen people do that. I think that's a very good way to be consistent, and I think it's a good way to try new things and just to be fun with it, you know? So earlier, was it last week? I reviewed a self care planner. I'm going to put the link for that video in the chat because I have not been able to get into self-care planning, self-care journaling. It's just been difficult for me to do it. And I was I'm in a part of the Texas Planner Babes group on Facebook, and you don't have to be in Texas to be a part of that group. So feel free to join us. And someone had asked if we would be willing to review a planner. And I was like, I had just been saying you need to do something, right? And then that was God. It was all in the plan. It was God, because she asked that, and I was like, this is a sign, this is a sign that I need to be doing something. Yeah, so here's the link to that video. So I was very, very impressed with the planner. It's from the Uplift Planner Company. And when I tell you, it's one of the self care planners I've seen. It's something that would actually work for me. My plan is to really dive in and get into it this week. Um, I was very impressed. I was very, very impressed with it. I'm going to go ahead and share some of the other things that I liked about this planner. Hold on a second. Let me share my screen again. So first off here, what I'm sharing with you right now is the bucket list that I made also. This was some Level of Posh stickers. So I did make this bucket list. So there's exercise, self-care, take a vacation, read a new book, and eat healthy, and cleaning. So those were the things that I really want to focus on for 2024. So I'm about to start a new book. I'm going to be taking a vacation. I'm going to go wild. I'm starting to, implement my self-care more, starting to work out again. I found something that I think is manageable for me to do. It's almost just like a walking workout. Cleaning, I hate cleaning, but I really need to just at least take an hour here and there and just focus on those. And this eating healthy, the reason I made that box long is so that I could just write out some healthy meal ideas, snack ideas, things like that. But let's go through there. So one of the first pages in the planner is this Who Am I page. And I like the idea of this because, like I said, Self-care is knowing who you are as a person, right? So it talks about the positive things about yourself, things you're good at, things you can improve. You feel most confident when. And the thing that really resonated with me on this page was my support system includes, because I feel that sometimes we may not feel that we have a lot of support. And if we start listing those that are in our corner, we'll see that there really is more support than we need. Or on the flip side, we may see that we need more of a support system. And I think that's when you can try and find a planner friend or somebody to just be a support buddy with you when it comes to, self-care. Then she also has this thought reframing page, which I think is very important. It has you list negative thoughts and give a positive alternative. That is changing your mindset right there. And for some people that are realist or pessimist, this is really going to help. And then you have the other section here where you give evidence to support your positive alternative. I think if this is going to force you to speak good about yourself. And if you speak good about yourself, you're speaking that into existence, because we don't even understand the power of words and how important they are. We have to speak things over ourselves. There are so many different words and phrases that people use today that make me cringe. One of them is, oh my effing God. I cannot stand for people to say that. It makes me cringe. Or, oh, I'm dead. Don't say that. Don't say that. Watch the words that you speak. Watch the words that you speak. Don't call yourself savage. There's nothing positive about that. you know? So those are the kind of things that, you have to be mindful of. Now, this was very, very impressive to me, the My Rescue Kit page. And here we have relaxing things to do with your hands, calming things to smell, comforting things to see, soothing things to hear, enjoyable things to taste. I am so guided by my senses. I'm a highly sensitive person when it comes to touch, taste, smell, and all those good things. This was an interesting page for me. Very, very interesting. And so I can't wait to fill the page out. Can't wait to fill that out. Yeah. So those were some of the things that really resonated with me in that planner. Another thing that I liked was there was not any journaling prompts where I feel like I'm forced to say something, forced to do something. Every weekly page just has like motivational quotes, and it has your priorities for the week, reflection piece for the week. It's manageable for me. There's even a page for you to do a vision board. And she has also in here like post therapy notes. So if you're going to therapy, there are several pages in here to list your post therapy notes. And I thought that was really great. And there was just a lot of things that were positive about this. Each monthly divider is a coloring page. It's a coloring page. I thought that was genius. I gave her my feedback. I told her there was really only a couple of things that I would change. Me personally, I'm not a coil bound person, but I can work with that. Because the paper quality is nice. I suggested, for the future, tabs on the monthly pages, but you can always add it. But I could see why there are no tabs, because it's a coloring page. I just thought about that. Okay, that might be why. And then I also suggested that the monthly pages maybe lose the shadowing of the boxes, in case people want to really decorate those pages. But this is hardbound. It's got the gold accents on it. It's a really, really well made and well thought out planner, in my opinion. And then in the very back, I think there's note pages at the end of every month too. But in the very back, you have this congratulations page where you can do some reflecting as well. So yeah, I'm gonna be diving into this week. If you go and look at the video in the description box, I did list the link to purchase that. I don't have a discount code or anything to give you, but if you're looking for a self-care planner, that is one of the best I've ever seen. One of the best. So definitely check it out. And again, thank you, Desi, for allowing me to review that. Um, yeah, so check it out. The video's linked in there for you. So right now, my current goal is to dive into that and really focus on that rescue kit page. Um, I think it's a genius page to put in a self planner. So that's one of my goals right now, is to focus on that so I could see how my senses are affected and what feels good to me for sight and touch and taste and smell. Because those, I know my senses are very, very important to me. And I never thought how those things can affect your self care. It never dawned on me how those things can be connected to your self care. So I'm interested to brainstorm on that page and see what I come up with. That's going to be fun. But yes, so what I want to do, I also spoke about this in my last live. I'm going to eventually do a Patreon. I don't know when I'm going to get it started. I was hoping to get that started already, but I want to get that started soon. And that's going to be one of the first things I do with my patrons. We're going to do some self-care challenges. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, a lot of fun. So, yes. So definitely let me know what is going to be your current goal for self-care. I have a whole self-care planner and I haven't touched it in forever. And I wasn't really doing a whole lot in it. I was doing like mood tracking more so than anything, and trying to list, you know, the things that I wanted to do for self care. Um, but yeah, try and focus on at least one goal for the next week, whether that is going for a walk a couple of days out of the week, or maybe it's just getting out of the bed and taking a shower, because you never know where people are. Some people may just be struggling just to get out of the bed and do that, right? So set one goal for yourself for the week. And then we can talk about it when we come back on the next live and see where you're at with it, and if you've done some improvements, or if something worked or if something didn't work, and how you can change that. But yes, so that's my goal right now, is to start diving into that planner, focus on the rescue kit. Like I said, I'm excited that there's the coloring pages in there. So just, some people do coloring. People have different things they do to calm them. My old lady number puzzles, as my brother calls them, those are calming for me. And I warned him, you better watch it, boy, because I'm only getting smarter with those puzzles. And I'm only getting better at my analytics and my logic. So watch out. Watch out. Yeah. I'm focusing on my healing journey all year. Yes, that is so important. So important. So I want to just thank you all for joining in tonight. Again, the book that we're looking to um, read for the book club is The Number One Lawyer by James Patterson, which comes out next month. I think I did I tell y'all the exact date? March 18th. So I was right, March 18th. Like I said, the hardcover is on a serious discount right now on Amazon for pre order. Run over there, pre order that why, so that you can get it while it's cheaper. Come up with your current self care goal and work on that. And then we will meet back here. Let me check the date. So we'll be back here on March the 12th, right before Pi Day. Ha! Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. All right, so I will see you guys back here on March the 12th. Until then, take care of yourselves. And remember, you're important, you matter. Okay? You're important and you matter. Remember those things. Don't forget to slay, guys. Subscribe, like, accept the alerts so you don't miss any videos. And I will see you all in the next one. Oh, Jacqueline, yes, we're long enough. That's okay. Make sure you go back and do the replay. But I will see you guys back on March the 12th. Bye-bye, guys.